against the Titans. What are you keying on in this one?
I got the keys. How about this? When you have Myles Garrett on your roster, Odell Beckham Jr. on your roster, and Baker Mayfield on your roster, you wouldn't think the person that actually was your catalyst would be Nick Chubb, the Chubster. But he actually has been. You see that right there? Look at that stiff arm.
Sit
Booyah!
down.
Like Stu Scott would say. You see that stiff arm? You know what I'm saying? And so running Nick Chubb and the balance with Kareem Hunt has been a difference maker for this Cleveland Browns team. Our producer, B-Lo, is happy. About the 10 Cleveland fans around the world, CJ McCollum, LeBron James. I know y'all happy. As a Lions fan, we got that 0-16 thing in common. But like I told y'all at the beginning of the year, it's the schedule. It's the light schedule. Don't expect to be winning no playoff games or nothing like that this year.
Yeah, the Browns are 8-3, which is a little surprising, but the key in this one is the run game of both of these teams, which is where both these teams gain their yardage. And you look at the comparison between Chubb and Henry, it's a little closer than you would think. You know, obviously the numbers are different with the numbers of rushes they had, but they're doing well, both of these players. And one thing I want to bring up about Derrick Henry is how he starts to perform better as the season goes on. It happens year after year. You know what he did in the playoffs. But if you look at September and October and November, look at how his numbers increase. You know, yards go up, 100 yards games go up, yards per game go up. So that's what the key is going to be in this one. And big shout out to Baker Mayfield, you know, because they've been through a lot in Cleveland. The Browns get criticized a lot.
Cleveland!
And they lost Odell Beckham Jr.
This is for you!
Jalen, you are watching Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN, but we decided before the season that from time to time we're going to turn it into the Cardinals News Network. We picked the Cardinals as our team early this season. And early in the season it started to pay off, but things haven't been great for Arizona lately. Jalen, they face off against division rival Rams, who have been playing well. It's sort of a tale of two teams going in two different directions. What are you keying on in this game?
The Rams had a disappointing loss last week to the 49ers that a lot of people let fly under the radar. And as you mentioned, the Cardinals have been struggling the last couple of games. And Kyler's going to be terrific, scrambling, making runs, and getting yards. But the thing that stands out to me, Jacoby, is at the beginning of the year, when I was looking down at the stat sheet, DeAndre Hopkins was getting targeted double-digit times. And I know we look back at the last few weeks and we see the Hail Mary play, but I'm noticing that, look at this, 3 targets per game down, 35 yards per game down. It's great to see Kirk 1 more pass and getting 8 more yards. That's a dynamic duo that they need to feed through the passing game. And I know the Rams ain't the necessary team that you want to try to get your passing game going against because they're the best at taking away the deep ball, in particular with Jalen Ramsey. But that's what it's going to take for the Cardinals if they're going to win the game.
It'll be really interesting to watch Ramsey because I love it when Ramsey just picks the best receivers. Says, I'm going to follow him all over the field. You know, that's exactly what he's going to do with Nuke Hopkins this week. But if I have DeAndre Hopkins on my team, what's the proper number of targets? Like 20? 15? Like if I'm Kingsbury, I'm designing every single play just to get him the ball because he is the most dynamic and, in my opinion, the best receiver in the NFL. Moving to another division rivalry game, we have the Saints against the Falcons. We saw this game a couple weeks ago when it was the debut of Taysom Hill at quarterback, and the Saints handled the Falcons pretty easily. The Falcons have been low-key playing pretty well lately. What do you expect to see in this one?
Shout out to Raheem Morris, has been doing a terrific job with the Falcons as they waxed Las Vegas last week. That was surprising. But for the Saints, Jacoby, it's about playing ball control football, really. Looking up at the clock, the Patriots playing like this with Cam Newton as well. Mistake-free football, throw a couple of passes, hope that you connect. And if you notice, most of his targets was to Michael Thomas. Basically, Michael Thomas has many catches in the previous game that he had all season. And so when you got weapons like that and you still got Kamara, this has got to be a big week for the Saints.
So Drew Brees broke a bunch of ribs, had a collapsed lung. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. So if I'm Sean Payton, I'm not playing with this Taysom Hill thing anymore. I'm putting in Jameis Winston because if they want to go deep in the playoffs, if they want to really succeed as a football team and compete with those other top teams in the NFC, they can't do it with Taysom Hill throwing less than 100 yards passing. So they've got like you said, they do this ball control thing. They don't turn the ball over, but they've got a low ceiling, high floor with Taysom Hill. And Jameis Winston is the ultimate low floor, high ceiling player. I say gamble. I say put in Jameis Winston and roll the dice if I'm Sean Payton.
The weak of the strong who got it going on, you're dead wrong, dog. You are dead wrong because Jameis Winston turns the football over. That's the only reason why they don't have him out there. And while we talk about the Saints, what we don't talk about is their improved defense. Their defense has been really good this year, getting to the quarterback, in particular that front four. So now you want to play ball control on offense. You don't want to turn the football over, Jacoby. Mistake free. But if you love Jameis so much, let me see you eat the W. Let me see you eat the W then. You ain't, yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
I can't wait to see Jameis eat the W. What I would do is I would sprinkle in some Taysom Hill, much like the Eagles might be doing with Jalen Hurts. The Eagles face off against the Packers, a bad matchup for the Eagles, but you have to wonder, what is going on with Carson Wentz, Jalen Rose?
He's struggling, Jacoby, but he is their starting quarterback that still needs to prove that he can be their franchise quarterback, regardless of his actual big deal. But for me, you still have to give him an opportunity to produce. Because I know he's leading the league in getting sacked. I know he leads the league in interceptions. But you know what we don't talk about Philly's Super Bowl run? Their stout defense. And it hasn't been as stout. They dealt with a lot of injuries as well. So this is one of those games, if you're Carson Wentz, you can make a statement. See, Jacoby, this is the rational confidence game. You, Carson Wentz, you can make a statement. You going against Aaron Rodgers. If you play well,
they ain't making a statement.
Oh, okay,
it ain't happening. You know it ain't happening. So when you watch the Colts and they have Phillip Rivers and they put in my man Jacoby Brissett for short yardage or for Hail Mary throws, it makes sense to me. But when I was watching this game with the Eagles played last week, they put in Jalen Hurts, but it just didn't make sense to me. Why? Now, the first time he was out in the field, offsides, the whole entire right side of the line, jumped the snap, and then he was handing the ball off, it didn't really have any sense of rhyme or rhythm to it. What do you think they are doing with this when they put him in?
I think that for the culture, I'm famous in two of the most important places: the delivery room and the barbershop. And for Jalen Hurts, I love to see him getting an opportunity to perform on the football field. But what that showed me how the coach used him was that he didn't necessarily want to draft him, and he didn't definitely want to play him. He gave him some first-team snaps this week. All right, GM. All right, owner. I put him out there. But now let's get back to the regularly scheduled program. That's what I thought.
Exactly. Well, right after this, we will get back to our regularly scheduled programming. We not only have big NBA stories and NFL slate to preview for, we have a big fight. We'll tell you all about it right after this. Stay tuned. You're watching
Barbershops.
Think about the moments you've been missing. The small ones you've been dreaming about. The ones you couldn't be more ready for. And even the ones that take you by surprise. These are the moments you'll remember. The ones that are impossible to forget. To new memories, Hilton, and our family of hotels.
Bud Light Seltzer, 5-step filtration for great taste.
These little cups would make great stocking stuffers. But how about right now in your mouth stuffers? Happy holidays to your mouth. Not sorry. Reese's.
I got a sausage. You can do better, Steve. Get a freshly made footlong from Subway. You can even order on the Subway app.
Did I just get picked off by Deion Sanders?
You sure did.
Now in the app, get a free footlong when you buy two because it's footlong season.
Gillette ProGlide and ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you're ready for the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
I'll be home You can count on me. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams.
Tonight, we begin this 2020 season playing in front of a bunch of cardboard cutouts.
How gratifying is tonight?
It's amazing to be back.
Is this as weird for you guys as it is for us?
3.7 seconds remaining.
Come on.
Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! It's good!
Did you know that Geico's whole 15 minutes thing, that came from me? Really? My first idea was, in 1/4 of an hour, your savings will tower over you, figuratively speaking. But that's not catchy, is it? That's not going to swim about in your brain. So I thought, what about 15 minutes, 15%? Serendipity.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now, there's Skyrizi.
Things are getting clearer, yeah, I feel free to bare my skin, yeah, that's on me. Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is everything.
Keep your skin clearer with Skyrizi. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months. Of those, nearly 9 out of 10 sustained it through 1 year. And Skyrizi is 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
I see nothing in a different way, and it's my moment, so I just gotta say, nothing is everything.
Skyrizi may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or coughs, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Now is the time to ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi.
There's been so many murders on the reservation. If we teach our girls how to box, they at least have a chance to fight.
You're fighting for your life.
One app, one tap, that's that. One swipe, one slide, sing it back. One app running with elite QBs. Russell got the cannon throwing clutch TDs. Lilla crossing over, step behind the line. Ain't no need to watch the clock, cause you know it's Dame time, yeah.
You know what?
One app with the 30 for 30s. 2-finger push-ups, Bruce Lee showing no mercy. Fat Five got the crew on deck. Best believe Bo knows OG dual threat, yeah. No one else goes deeper, that's a fact. One slide, one tap, it's the ESPN app.
It's a fact.
Jalen and Jacoby is presented by Guinness. Game time is Guinness time. Please drink responsibly. Part of Happy Hour.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Jalen and Jacoby, but the show doesn't end when the television show ends. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast because we always have exclusive content on there and exclusive guests.
Legend.
Today we have Juicy J on the show, and here's just a little snippet of what he had to say.
I mean, look at all the stuff we've done, and we're still here today. Like, people are still sampling our music. I mean, like, we've been around for over 30 years and still going strong. It's actually getting better now. What Rap Group was back 30 years ago, and they still moving forward and getting even stronger. No disrespect to any other groups, but best group.
Well, you can make sure you listen to Juicy J on our podcast today. Jalen, we have one big fight this weekend. Errol Spence Jr. against Danny Garcia. What does this fight tell you about the future?
I'm glad they're going to be in the ring. It's great to see a healthy Errol Spence, the lefty, also back in the ring, fighting on an elite card. I'm taking him to get it done.
Do you know what this says to me? Winner gets Terrence Crawford. We've been talking about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford facing off for years now, and I want to see it finally happen. Right? Make sure you listen to Juicy J on the podcast. We'll be back next week, Monday at 2 p.m.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. And you're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. from United Supermarkets Arena in Lubbock, Texas. A game that was nowhere on the schedule 4 or 5 days ago, but we've got it tonight. Out of the Sun Belt, the Troy Trojans taking on the Big 12's Texas Tech Red Raiders. Along with Fran Fraschilla, I'm Mark Neely. Fran, this is a very young team. 7 newcomers for Texas Tech. When you look at the breakdown by class, 5 freshmen, 4 sophomores, and you include the 4 juniors and 1 senior. You and I had the call. The Tech lost to Houston on Sunday. Who do they need to bounce back tonight?
Well, it's obvious the 2 veterans on this team, Kyler Edwards and Terrence Shannon, they have 52 starts between them. That may not sound like a lot, but it is on this young team, and you can tell by the numbers they did not play well. This team got punched in the mouth early against Houston, and I expect them to respond tonight in a resounding way.
So Texas Tech comes in at 2-1. Troy Trojans 1-1. And Fran, we'll get to the story eventually a little bit more in depth about how this game came about. But basically, Troy lost a game at Wake Forest earlier this week. Texas Tech, their game with St. John's, went away as well due to COVID concerns. And here we are with these 2 teams tonight.
Relationships, Mark, that's the key during the COVID period. Your friends help you out, and both coaches came together within 24 hours, and we are playing on a Friday night in Lubbock.
Troy wearing the Cardinal uniforms, Texas Tech in the gray. A back cut and a jam to get it going by Terrence Shannon Jr.
Great start. They know Troy pressures, so they took the pressure and used it against them. Great play coming out of the timeout to tip. First play of the game.
True freshman Cam Woods, the starting point guard. They trap him, and it's a turnover for Troy. So you see the lineup for the Trojans with AB, Antoine Burnett, making his first career start. Loose ball in the lane. McClung going after it. Troy able to scoop it up, and Nick Stampley.
Well, this is a very young basketball team out of the Sun Belt, but they do have some talent.
Kiefer Punter off the mark with the 3.
Another
Kyler
guy
Edwards brings it ahead.
Yeah, Mac McClung is a guy, the Georgetown transfer, was averaging 19 coming into that Houston game, and that's another guy that's got to play a little bit better tonight.
Edwards just 1 for 5 from the 3-point line in the Houston game, but Texas Tech off to the fast start as McClung finds the bucket.
We talked about those young veterans, but McClung may be the most experienced. He and Santos Silva, the VCU transfer.
Screen set by Zay Williams, pick and roll. He gets it down low, and there's Zay Williams, a junior, an impressive junior for Troy. Franny is a very impressive athlete.
He really is. Scott Cross told us yesterday that in the scrimmage last year against Auburn, he was sensational. Bruce Pearl couldn't talk enough about the junior.
Peavy from the left elbow around and out.
Oh, I like this young man. Oh, yeah.
And the freshman knocks it down.
This
out
guy
of Bessemer, Alabama.
Yeah, how about that? 38 points a game his senior year at Pinson Valley. Really impressive. He reminds me a little bit of a young Kemba Walker. Now, he's not that good, but he certainly has that kind of flair for the game.
Drive by Shannon and a whistle stops play. But let me get back to your point. Cam Woods averaged 38 points a game as a senior at Pinson Valley, which was the 7th best points per game in the nation for all high school seniors.
Well, he's part of a very good first recruiting class by Scott Cross, who had terrific success at UTA, Texas Arlington, in the Sun Belt. And he's going to match wits tonight with the guy that he knows really well on that other sideline, Chris Beard. And we know what an incredible job he's done.
Season number 5 for Chris Beard. And as you mentioned, a trip to the national championship game. These last few years have been the best years in Texas Tech basketball history under Chris Beard.
And again, this game came about because of a great relationship between Beard and Cross. Essentially 2 Texas guys, 2 Dallas guys who have known each other a long time on the circuit as assistant coaches and head coaches.
Pass for Stampley, almost intercepted by Damari Burnett, but here he comes the other way, and a block down low by Nick Stampley. 3 put up Cam Woods.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This guy had 20 in his debut in the win over Western Carolina. And you can see why Scott Cross is excited about Cam Woods and the rest of his freshman class.
Zay Williams tripped up Peavy. Micah Peavy had a pretty nice game with the exception of the free throw line on Sunday against Houston, Fran.
Yes, top 50 player, part of a very good recruiting class. Same high school that produced Jamias Ramsey. Duncanville, one of the great basketball programs in the Metroplex.
McClung off the inbounds, catch and shoot, but short from the short corner. Here's an open look, another 3 on the way. This one from Burnett off the heel. And a pass picked off there by Jamarius Burton. And here comes Tech. McClung eyes up a 3.
Excellent ball movement that time by the transfer from Wichita. This team has 4 transfers on the roster. And hooking up that time with Mac McClung.
Each team off to a pretty good shooting start. You see 3 for 5 from the field for the Trojans. And 3 for 6 for Tech. There's a drive, and it's a kiss missed by Desmond Williams and out to Texas Tech.
Scott Cross did an incredible job at UTA in his 12 seasons. Over 500 9 different times. Hey, this is amazing, Mark. At UTA, he had wins over Wichita, St. Mary's, Texas, Ohio State, BYU twice, Memphis, and UTEP. He did an amazing job at UTA.
Not only as his time as head coach, but he was an assistant and played at UTA. Terrence Shannon pulls back
charge
from 17, no good. Rebound pulled down by Panaflia.
You'll see a lot of pick and roll from this young backcourt.
Fast start for each team. Early from Lubbock, a 2-point lead for Tech.
Do you have butter lettuce over there? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Okay.
Just try a little bit here.
Hey, Jay, can you grab that?
We'll get right on it.
Thank you. I know how much you guys love tomatoes, so I have stories to tell you about these tomatoes.
The only way you beat 6-month aged cheddar toasted on the shell of a chalupa is to put it in this box. The $5 toasted cheddar chalupa box is back for a limited time, only at Taco Bell.
Sometimes the smallest gestures can be the most refreshing. Give extra, get extra.
Did you know you can go to libertymutual.com to customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
Really? I had to... Okay, I'm on vibration.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This holiday, find stylish gifts for all the diamonds in your life. Get 25% off everything. And find one-of-a-kind deals at the Winter Jewelry Sale. Shop online with the virtual consultant. Zales, the diamond store.
Thanks for waiting, kids.
Go ahead, sis, I got it.
Hi, Mom. Bye, thanks, Mom. I really appreciate it.
That's how strong my love is. That's how strong my love is. So much love, so much love. Oh, so much love. Yeah.
As a human ski lift, there's only one way to refuel. The DQ $6 meal deal. Entree, plus a refreshing Coke, fries, and sundae. All full-sized. Just like that hill.
DQ, happy tastes good.
This exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66. proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. And a big week for the Big 12 already. Kansas got the win over Kentucky. Baylor beat number 5 Illinois. And then Texas won the Maui Invitational for the first time in history as Matt Coleman hit that buzzer beater to beat North Carolina. And they win the Maui Classic. How about this week for the Big 12, Fran?
Pretty good. I'll tell you, kudos to Matt Coleman, the senior point guard out of Norfolk, Virginia. What a 3 days he had in Asheville, North Carolina. I know Jason Benetti and Bill Walton were impressed. And then, I don't know about you, Mark, but that was a slugfest between Baylor and Illinois. The guards of Baylor won out. They were brilliant. I thought they were outstanding.
It was a terrific game to watch, no question.
Got a couple good ones this weekend.
Yes. You'll be in Austin for Villanova and Texas. That's going to be a big one as well.
That will be a fun game. 2 experienced point guards in Colin Gillespie and Matt Coleman. And I talked to Jay Wright today, and last 2 times he's been in the state of Texas, he's won a national championship.
Wow. They tried to trap
San Antonio.
Desmond Williams, and his pass intended for Waters is intercepted. Saved by Edwards. McClung. Wide open look. Burnett. Santos Silva can't save it. It's Troy Ball.
Remember, when you talk about Nimari Burnett, he is the first McDonald's All-American to play at Texas Tech. Off to a slow start. But Chris Beard, I think, is optimistic about Peavy and Burnett and some of the other young guys he's got, hopefully to get some experience in the non-conference. But, hey, Mark, the Big 12 Conference starts this week.
It's crazy to think the conference season begins this early in December, but that is the COVID world that we live in.
You and I are just grateful we have basketball. And we can hear each other tonight.
Absolutely right. Williams trying to scoop past Santos Silva and puts up a shot as the shot clock was winding down. And it's going to be Texas Tech ball.
8 young freshmen on this Troy roster. As Scott Cross rebuilds a Troy Trojan program in the Sun Belt, and there's a guy on that sideline that is never without energy. Every now and then, some broadcasters will get a text at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning and asking about his team and what they can do better. Of course, Kelvin Sampson told a story about Chris Beard and he are 2 of those late night guys that'll call each other and talk about their teams and give each other advice. And it's just a great coaching fraternity in the state of Texas.
Kyler Edwards from the corner. We mentioned Kyler had a bit of a slow game against Houston on Sunday, and he's one of the veteran players Tech really needs to look to this year.
That's a young guy that had 12 points in a national championship game a couple of years ago as a freshman against Tony Bennett's club in that incredible overtime game that still breaks the hearts of all these Red Raider fans out here in the South Plains.
And when you're a bucket away, a made bucket away from a national championship, you don't forget that tough loss. So there's the drive. And Nick Stampling with the left hand. He's a senior. Big body for Troy.
I'll tell you what, he is a garbage man. Love the way he plays.
Loose ball in the corner, and it's saved by Burton.
Good help defense. Nowhere to go on that baseline.
So McClung takes the 3. And what a start for Mac McClung.
That's a good sign. You know, at Georgetown, he only shot about 33% from behind the arc. He was an inefficient scorer at Georgetown. And one of the reasons he wanted to play for Chris Beard, Chris promised him he would tighten up his game. Mark, when you think of Mac McClung, he's a kid that was on the YouTube dunk highlights as a high school player in Gate City, Virginia, which, by the way, as you discovered over the weekend, is on the Tennessee border, right there across from Bristol, Tennessee. But he had a lot of opportunities to go to schools once he decided to leave Georgetown. And he wanted to kind of take the path of Matt Mooney, who transferred here a couple years ago and was on that Final Four team. Of course, we remember the great senior season Matt Mooney had.
Wound up being one of the better defensive players in the Big 12, to the surprise of some, but not to Chris Beard.
And he played in the NBA last year. Nice pass
for Kyler Edwards.
Good ball movement, but it starts with the defense. And we mentioned both Shannon and Edwards. And these two guys both capable of being all-conference players. And we talked about it, Mark. These guys struggled the other night. 2 field goals apiece. But right here they hook up on a terrific 2-on-1 break. Terrence Shannon. Yeah, this Shannon guy, he's a Chicago kid. He reminds me of Kelly Oubre, who played at Kansas and now playing in the NBA. We with the Warriors this year.
McClung from just beyond the free throw line, off the mark from Shannon. The put back good.
Now this is an aggressive start for the Red Raiders. We mentioned it at the top. They got punched in the mouth on Sunday. We're down by 20 early second half. They made that furious comeback, but it was a little too late.
And we hit the under 12 timeout. Impressive play in transition, Fran. Finished by Tyreek Smith.
I did some early shopping this year. One for you, one for me.
I love it. I got us a little something too.
Yeah?
Yep. One for you and one for me.
I love it.
Oh, actually, that was supposed to be for me.
I love it.
I like red.
It's the GMC season to upgrade. Now everyone can get GM employee pricing on most GMC models. Use it to get over $6,200 total value on this 2021 Acadia Denali. We are professional grade. GMC.
At Domino's, you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for just $7.99 each. And with Domino's Carside Delivery, you can conveniently stay in your car while you do it. Just pull up, check in online, and we'll quickly bring your food to you.
Thank you.
So you don't have to get out to get carry out. Like Denny here.
Hey, Hamlin. I like your PJs.
PJs? Huh? Stay in the driver's seat with Domino's Carside Delivery.
This is the new iPhone 12 Pro with 5G, and it's on AT&T, the fastest nationwide 5G network.
Now new and existing customers can get our best deal.
Really? Mom, AT&T has the deal for new and existing customers. I will.
So what'd she say?
It's the wrong person. It's a guy named Carl, but he's very excited and on his way.
Word of mouth advertising. It's what they did before commercials.
It's not complicated. Everyone gets our best deal, like the amazing iPhone 12 mini on us.
We love our new home. There's so much space.
We have a guest room now.
But we have ants.
You're slouching again, Ted.
Expired. Expired. Expired.
Thanks, Aunt Bonnie.
It's a lot of house. I hope you can keep it clean.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save a lot of money.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request?
I'll have to check.
Aunt Joni's here.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
When it comes to home gating, you gotta have certain essentials. As long as I got my family, friends, Tostitos, my famous nachos, we're good. And don't forget to put a little bend in your knees. Right now, we're just finding happiness in the small things. Just being with the fellas, watching the game, I think it's a very special moment. We don't get to play, but we get to watch it.
I agree. I'm okay with you being the nacho guy the rest of the season.
Tostitos, get to the good stuff.
ESPN presents the Buckeyes Playoff Push.
A collision between the undefeated Buckeyes and the Spartans.
Coming up Sunday afternoon, we will have a college basketball triple header featuring three top 20 teams. Number 12 Villanova and number 17 Texas tip off today at noon Eastern. Then a crosstown shootout rivalry game between Xavier and Cincinnati. And then at 5 Eastern, 20th ranked Kentucky takes on Georgia Tech in Atlanta. And all three games are on ESPN and the ESPN app. Fran, you will be in Austin for Villanova, Texas with Dan Schulman. We know about Greg Brown, the great freshman. Give me who's the most underrated Longhorn in your mind right now?
It's got to be the Texas Tornado, Brock Cunningham. How about this? A year ago, the guy averaged 1 minute a game in the first 23 games he played. In the last 9 games that he's played 16 or more minutes, the Longhorns are 9-0. He was terrific at Asheville. He's, to me, like an Alex Caruso type that blends very well with that talented backcourt and those monsters up front. Brock Cunningham, what a great performance he's had over the last end of last season, early this season.
Well, Texas on a 13-2 run here, by the way, Fran, and McClung on a drive again.
Yeah, really good defense. Remember, this is a young basketball team the Trojans have put out there. Hey, when Mac McClung is knocking down threes to go along with that highlight reel athleticism, that is a great sign for Chris Beard. This is exactly what the doctor ordered when he came to the South Plains.
Well, McClung on Sunday against Houston had a team-high 16 points, but Fran, he was 0 for 6 at three-point shooting. You see he's already hit a handful here tonight.
Well, don't forget now, they climbed in his basketball shorts, and the Cougars gave him no room to breathe.
And he's feeling it right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what, he's got an enthusiasm for the game that we fell in love with when we talked to him on Saturday. It's not easy to go from Gate City, Virginia, all the way out to Lubbock, but he knew that he was in store for hard coaching and player development. And that's exactly what he's done since he arrived. This is a kid that averaged 17 points a game in the Big East last year.
He has been the team-high scorer in all 3 games so far that Tech has played. At 20 against Northwestern State to start the season, 18 against Sam Houston State, and the 16 against Houston on Sunday.
Oh, good back cut. They had him.
Couldn't connect. Santos Silva to Kyler Edwards.
Santos Silva is another one of those grad transfers. If you think about Texas Tech over the last few years with Mooney and Tariq Owens, and last year Chris Clark and TJ Holyfield. This young man from Taunton, Massachusetts. I mentioned this on Sunday, Mark. Doesn't he remind you of Noren Odiasi?
Absolutely.
In size and dirty work.
And could play a similar role for Tech this year. And here's a rebound for Namari Burnett. With Santos Silva, who got his Homeland Security degree, as Burnett drives and scores.
Well, that's important for Burnett to get going. He is a prolific scorer. A great high school player. Mentioned McDonald's All-American. I'll tell you a funny story about the first time I ever met Namari Burnett.
What's that?
He was being coached by Carol Lawson. He was on the USA Junior National Under 3-on-3 team, and he won a gold medal. You know where they won it? Mongolia.
That's Carol a bit of a road trip.
Yeah, Kara coached both the men's and women's junior national 3-on-3 teams. And Namari Burnett was on that team, and I got a chance to watch him practice in Colorado Springs. By the way, kudos to our former colleague, Kara Lawson, the new head coach of the Duke Blue Devils.
Coming up tomorrow, our noon Eastern game on ABC, and the ESPN app has Justin Fields and number 4 Ohio State and East Lansing taking on a Michigan State squad that's coming off a big upset of previously unbeaten Northwestern. And Ohio State find themselves in the college football playoff once again. They got to get a couple more wins to get eligible, and they take on Michigan State.
I'll tell you what, now that's a dangerous game. Mel Tucker's team they've been up and down, but they got a couple of really quality wins this year. The former grad assistant at Michigan State back home after all these years after working for guys like Nick Saban.
He stepped on the baseline and back over to Texas Tech. Looking at Texas Tech, no question they're sharing the ball better here tonight, Fran, than what we saw in the game against Houston.
Exactly. This is not the same level of competition, obviously. Scott Cross's Trojans are young, but the reason they played Houston was to find out what they were missing, and they found out quickly in that game, and they responded. And man, we're going to love watching this kid, Micah Peavy, coached by his dad at Duncanville High School. And those numbers don't lie. 22% against that Houston harassment.
Peavy had a pretty good game against Houston in the 11-point loss. He went 6 of 8 from the field, had a dozen points.
And the Red Raiders were beaten in part by the nephew of former Raider great Marcus Sasser was the guy that got the job done for Kelvin Sampson. Jason Sasser's nephew, who coached him in high school. Yeah, these guys are locked in. We talked to Chris Beard. He was concerned about Troy because of the athleticism, but they are locked in.
Waters loses it out of bounds.
As a coach, Mark, and as a player, when you are disappointed in a game like they had, they were really looking forward to playing St. John's last night, but obviously because of COVID, that game was canceled. But you want to get back out on the court and kind of get the juices going again.
Nick Stampley knocks it down, his second bucket. It breaks the drought for Troy.
Good ball movement. Texas Tech, one of the few teams in the country that play what we call motion offense. Random movement with rules. Moving intelligently, using your teammates, the screen, pass, cut. It goes back to the great Bob Knight and the influence he had on Chris Beard. As Beard was a 10-year assistant here for Bob and Pat Knight.
As Wilson runs into Peavy. The offensive foul. Timeout in Lubbock.
It's footlong season at Subway, and Meditron's got some new news. Contactless curbside pickup is here. Just tap for Tasty in the app and pick up contactless. Because it's safety first, right, Tiny Car? You wearing your seatbelt, little man? Subway, eat fresh.
Always be ready to seize the moment. When inspiration strikes. Make the most of this opportunity during Mazda's season of inspiration. Get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months and no payments for 90 days.
Breakfast wants you back. Try Just Crack an Egg, packed with real potatoes, veggies, meat, and cheese. Just add a fresh egg for a hot scramble in less than 2 minutes to get those warm, fuzzy feelings again. Take breakfast back. Find it in the egg aisle.
Wait, are you being serious? There's no way.
Maybe there's a joke. There's a joke inside the bag.
We invited food reviewers to try the Whopper, but with a special surprise.
$5 for 2 Whopper sandwiches.
I'm gonna leave before you change your mind.
A deal hard to believe. Get the Whopper and the 2 for $5 mix and match. Your way, way better.
I'm not your friend.
Absolute chaos.
This is happening. There is a postseason.
Stop.
You're going to have some difficult choices to make.
That is Jurek Malagi, who is in his second season as an assistant for Chris Beard. He is a recent member of the newly created Big 12 Black Assistant Coaches Alliance. Danielle Robinson, an assistant for Coach Prohm at Iowa State, after the death of George Floyd, began speaking with other black assistants in the Big 12. And then in late October, they formed the BACA, the Black Assistant Coaches Alliance, to help serve their student athletes better. You see, the goals of the Black Assistant Coaches Alliance, and it's great to see Fran, activity on the ground, serving and helping the student athletes.
Without a question. We're talking about voter registration. We're talking about the relationship with your local police department, financial literacy. The thing I love about it, and it's not just Danielle Robinson and Uric Malaghy, but guys like Kurt Townsend and Norm Roberts and Jerrance Howard up at Kansas, Carlin Hartman down at Oklahoma. There's some great coaches. How about Jerome Tang and Alvin Brooks at Baylor? What I love about it is their own leadership in this area, the Black Coaches Alliance, is actually, BACA is actually getting them ready to be leaders and become head coaches. And it's a two-way street. They mentor their young players, and they also learn how to become leaders, because we need more of these in head coaching positions. And I think it's phenomenal.
No question. And you mentioned the voter registration on the Texas Tech side. And Malaghy got all of the Texas Tech players to register and vote.
Well, that's tremendous. Yep. Of course, we've all been kind of had our eyes opened this summer in that area of social justice. And I know myself personally, as a former basketball coach, 80 to 90% of the young men I coach happen to be African American. And I look back and think of the ways that I could have continued to help and could have even done more. But great organization. A lot of us who have been in this business for a long time here to help as well.
Stampley and the foul. Well, another one of the issues that Malaghy wanted to address is the Tech players' relationship with the local police. The gentleman just to the left of the middle of the screen is Police Chief Floyd Mitchell. He's the first African-American police chief in the city of Lubbock. And again, Fran, one of the issues was, how can we make sure our athletes, our student athletes, have a better relationship with the local police force, and they're doing it in Lubbock?
Well, it's about communication. You know, Malcolm Gladwell wrote a great book on this. I think it was, trying to think of the name, it was Strangers or something like that. But it was, the idea was, if you don't communicate with somebody who doesn't act or look like you, that you can't have a relationship. And we all know how important law enforcement is, especially in a college community. But we also have to make sure that everybody connects with each other. And I think that's exactly what Uric Malaghy and the rest of these coaches in the Big 12 are doing. And by the way, Kyle Neptune and the guys in the Big East, Dwayne Killings at Marquette, they're doing the same thing there, and it should be happening around the country.
And a travel committed by Santos Silva.
Yeah, that Malcolm Gladwell book was called Talking to Strangers, and I learned a lot about people that don't act or look like you when I read that book. Really powerful stuff.
We hit the 6-minute mark, and a 20-point lead for Texas Tech. Baseline jumper, that's blocked out of the hands of Kiefer Punter, and here comes McClung. Around and in for McClung, and what a first half he is having.
What you like about this kid, Mark, is he can get it in the offense and he can go get it on his own. And that time, he just ISO'd and took that defender to the middle of the lane. He's been impressive tonight, Mac McClung.
Wide open look, Burnett got it. Antoine Burnett.
Yeah, he's one of those precocious freshmen. This is Scott Cross's first real recruiting class at Troy, and he's got 3 Alabama kids that are going to be outstanding players in Woods, Miles, and Burnett.
Well, Burnett is a guy, we mentioned the size, 6'5", 210-pound true freshman who mainly was a wide receiver playing football. Got some looks for some SEC schools, but it says his love has been hoops, and he kind of came late to the sport. Here's a lay-in by the aforementioned Antoine Burnett. And he's given the basketball, college basketball, a try instead of college football. And I'm sure Scott Cross is going to be very happy he made that decision.
No, he's got a good group of young guys. They're not in this game right now, but they're going to compete, and they are going to build a program in the Sun Belt. Good job right there.
Punter commits the offensive foul.
And Kiefer Punter's the younger brother of Kevin Punter, who played at Tennessee and is now playing high-level basketball over in Europe in the Euro League, playing in Milan right now. For
Kevin Punter, what I remember, he played his junior and senior years in Knoxville. His senior year was Rick Barnes' first season. And Punter went from averaging about 10 points a game as a junior. They worked with his shot, and he averaged double that his senior year under Rick Barnes.
Yep. New Yorker, just like his younger brother.
Burnett.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll tell you now, Nemarion Burnett's got to feel confident tonight, getting some time. I don't know how you felt, Mark, but I felt like after that game Sunday that we would see more minutes from those young guys. Remember, they lost a transfer this week, Joel Ntambwe, who decided to leave for whatever reason. But the young guys are going to get better at Texas Tech. You can count on that.
This is not good. I need you to pick me up at 5:30.
and then everybody runs.
What is he doing? You missed the spot.
These college applications, I gotta get all my references. It's just a lot.
I can get used to having my own chauffeur.
Oh, yeah?
No texting.
All right.
Watch out for dogs.
I got it, I know.
Don't let Trevor drive.
Pandora can't tell you how to get hyped up. How to play it back.
Psychedelic flow, I'm the dope and the antidote. Fade down the street.
Or how to slow it down.
What you know, going back and forth, in and out, moving lateral.
But we can't give you the modes to do all three. Tune your game day music with new athlete-curated modes on uninterrupted radio. Now playing on Pandora.
To show up the show-off, do you need power or this? Optimum power. Because Duracell Optimum makes this RC truck even faster than Copper Top.
No! We have a winner!
Route recalculating.
Making the time you spend together better in the 8-passenger Hyundai Palisade.
At Domino's, you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for just $7.99 each. And with Domino's Carside Delivery, you can conveniently stay in your car while you do it. Just pull up, check in online, and we'll quickly bring your food to you.
Thank you.
So you don't have to get out to get carry out. Like Denny here.
Hey, Hamlin. I like your PJs.
PJs? Huh? Stay in the driver's seat with Domino's Carside Delivery.
Honey.
Honey.
New NyQuil Severe Honey is maximum strength cold and flu medicine with soothing, honeylicious taste. NyQuil Honey. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's, home for the holidays. Talk about a gift for the holidays. This one almost a $30 million gift. The Womble Basketball Center, new on the campus at Texas Tech, and it just shows you, Fran, how big hoops has become in Lubbock.
Absolutely. Right across the street from the arena that they're playing in. It's beautiful. I haven't seen the finished product, but in the last 12 months when we've been out there, Mark, we saw the construction going up, and Dustin Womble and all those Red Raider alums have been very generous to this guy. And, of course, he's now built one of the great programs in college basketball. Compensated accordingly, I might add, and off to an incredible start. He loves this place. He fits like a glove.
This is Miles Mendez. Hands off Cam Woods. He's been a impressive guy to watch for a true freshman playing here on this stage.
When I've watched him on film, the first thing I thought of is, oh, this kid's going to be a Sun Belt star. There's no question. And he's getting his feet wet tonight.
Peavy in a crowd is fouled. Well, down the road, this is going to be a good learning process for Troy in the Sun Belt. They're not picked very high in the Sun Belt, but look out for Scott Cross's team. He is rebuilding some things very quickly.
Listen, Scott Cross did an amazing job at UTA. I mentioned all those incredible upset wins and Coach of the Years. And I don't have to tell you, I was really disappointed when they fired him at at UTA. I thought it was very unjust. Most coaches did, but that's water under the bridge now. Chris Ogden's a friend, former Texas Tech assistant to Chris Beard. But Scott Cross will build a great program at Troy. They'll be in contention for Sun Belt titles. After he was let go, Jamie Dixon wisely hired him. And then he became a Troy Trojan 2 years ago. And again, this is a young basketball team. They'll make mistakes. They're playing against a hungry Tech team tonight, Mark. But he did an amazing job. Can you imagine going to St. Mary's when they were number 12 in the country, beating them, beating Texas, winning at Memphis, winning at Ohio State? They got cheated at Alabama one year. Yeah, I shouldn't have probably said that, but it's true. You know, beat BYU twice. He's a tremendous basketball coach.
And he celebrated a birthday yesterday while in Lubbock, number 46 for Scott Cross. So belated happy birthday to him.
And by the way, SEC officials, I'm just joking.
Of course.
You know how much I love officiating now that I'm not coaching.
That's the only way. I know that your friendship with the officials has become so great.
No question about it. They get way more of them right than they get wrong. And especially in the Big 12.
With that left hand. They're going to get Peavy going over the back.
I think the Big 12, I've said it. Curtis Shaw is in charge of the officiating in this league. Final Four official. I think they do an outstanding job. This is a very tough year for all of us in college basketball. With the virus, with the testing, and these officials, you see them night in, night out. You know, it's the only profession that they have to start out perfect and improve from there.
Yeah. You see our officials tonight: Aaron Jarrett, Kirby Sitton, Jeff Malum. Texas Tech just 5 turnovers here in the first half.
It's a good effort. I think they've been locked in on the defensive end. They have made Troy earn everything tonight. Oh no, I don't like that call. I don't think he was established. I thought that was a block. Stamper really active. Let's take a look right here. I thought that was a little bit of a flop, honestly. Good sales job by the freshman. You know, it's funny.
Good first half for Stampley, though.
Yeah, I like him. He plays hard. He plays with energy.
Edwards fouled as he went up with the 18-footer. Hey, coming up on the E-Trade halftime report, we'll send it to the studio with Kevin Connors, Seth Greenberg, Sean Farnham. They'll preview that #1 matchup, #1 against #2, Gonzaga against Baylor, and also the Saturday slate for college football. Is college football season starting to wind down here, Fran? The regular season, anyway.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, we've had our fits and starts in college football. You know, a lot of cancellations, but by and large, just to see these young people out there. You know, Mark, I talked to about 10 or 12 coaches in the last 2 weeks, and in talking about the you know, the difficulty of this season, they all said to a man, our kids just want to play. We know we have to keep them safe. You know, that bubble situation. I'll tell you, I've said this for a number of years now, but mental health is the next frontier with coaching college kids, and it's no more true than it is this year because of what everybody is dealing with. I talked to Jay Wright today, Mark, and, you know, he acknowledged that that week in the bubble, they played 4 games in essentially 8 days, was as difficult mentally, way more difficult mentally than it was physically. He didn't even care about losing to Virginia Tech. His kids wanted to play the games. He just said the psyche of these kids right now, because of what's going on in our world with the virus, is crazy. And here's one thing he told me. He said, I'm in a constant collective bargaining agreement with my team about ways to handle the virus, and, you know, whether they should quarantine or not, or play games, and leaving a lot of the decision making up to his veteran team. Oh man,
but 17 points in this first half for Mac McClung.
Brilliant. He's a guy that thrives on his swag. That's what I like about him. He loves playing.
Nice shot, put up and in. That's Duke Miles, one of the other freshmen.
Yeah, I'll tell you, these freshmen are getting their feet wet. And there's going to come a point in time when they're juniors and seniors, they're going to remember when they got their butt whipped at Texas Tech. But this is how you grow up when you're a mid-major trying to build a program. Look at the hustle. They're still playing hard.
And they got the timeout. Troy did, stopping it with just under 30 seconds to play in this first half. And we'll take a quick break as well.
Always be ready to seize the moment when inspiration strikes. Make the most of this opportunity during Mazda's Season of Inspiration. Get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months and no payments for 90 days.
Well, if you know anything about Mac McClung and his history as a high school player at Georgetown and now here at Texas Tech, he is the epitome of swag and confidence, and he has had a very confident first half. Now, shooting has not always been his specialty. He's more of an attack the basket guy, but since he's arrived in the South Plains, he spent a lot of time behind that arc. When you throw that in with the athleticism of attacking the rim, you got yourself a potential all Big 12 guy. This is a kid who he scored 1,000 points in 2 years at Georgetown. And like a lot of guys, wanted a little change of scenery. And man, you go from D.C. to Lubbock, Texas, that, Mark Neely, is a change of scenery. I don't have to tell you.
It is a definite change of scenery. Nothing wrong with Lubbock, Texas. So, you know, I've had a lot of great times in Lubbock, Texas.
Hey, we love Lubbock, Texas, man. Especially, what's that barbecue place? It's a barbecue, brand new barbecue place.
It's on the far west side of town. Somebody's going to help us. Shot clock, or I should say the game clock down to 0, and that takes us to the end of the first half. Don't forget, E-Trade halftime report coming up with KC, Seth, and Sean.
To show up the show-off, do you need power or this? Optimum Power. Because Duracell Optimum makes this RC truck even faster than Copper Top.
No! We have a winner!
When it comes to home gating, you gotta have certain essentials. As long as I got my family, friends, Tostitos, my famous nachos, we're good. And don't forget to put a little bend in your knees. Right now, we're just finding happiness in the small things. Just being with the fellas, watching the game, you know, I think it's a very special moment. You know, we don't get to play, but we get to watch it.
I agree. I'm okay with you being the nacho guy the rest of the season.
Tostitos, get to the good stuff.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get a great deal on Tacoma, RAV4, Camry, and more.
I'll take it.
I'll get this wrapped up for you. I wish I hadn't just unwrapped it.
What makes an amazing deal even better? Toyota Care. It's a no-cost maintenance plan for 2 years or 25,000 miles, plus roadside assistance for 2 years and unlimited miles.
Toyotathon is on. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
As a human ski lift, there's only one way to refuel. The DQ $6 meal deal. Entree, plus a refreshing Coke, fries, and sundae. All full-sized. Just like that hill.
DQ, happy tastes good.
Come on inside the ESPN College Basketball Studios. Hope you're enjoying your hoops. It is the E-Trade halftime report alongside Sean Farnham and Coach Seth Greenberg. I'm Kevin Connors. Number 1 versus number 2 on Saturday. Gonzaga and Baylor, possibly the first of 2 meetings this season, we might hope. The Zags rallied from 5 down at the half, endured a Jalen Suggs injury to beat West Virginia.
Yeah, they did, and it just speaks to the versatility and the depth that they have on this team, Coach. It's amazing to watch Mark Few's offense click this well.
Yeah, Andrew Nembhard comes off the bench with Suggs good, went down, 19.6 assists, got everyone involved, and really did a nice job not only scoring but making plays for others.
And Drew Timme, a different player in that second half, 14 of his 17 coming after the break. Meantime, the Baylor Bears, second half of the Jimmy V doubleheader. Scott Drew praised his team's D. They held Illinois to 69 points. 4 players in double figures.
I think they've got the best backcourt in all of college basketball. They got 4 guys on the floor at all times that can make a play, get in the lane, shoot the 3. They play with great spacing. They remind me of the 2016 Villanova backcourt.
I think the experience of a year ago, being the team that everybody thought had a chance to win a national championship and get to the Final Four, with all this experience coming back, it's going to help them understand how they have to play and how they have to meet that bar every single night this year.
Experience is great, offense is great, but the calling card of this team is defense.
No doubt about it. They're the most connected defense I've seen in a really long time. 1 through 4, they can switch when Vitale's at 4, 1 through 5 when he's at 5. They all can get up and underneath the basketball and pressure the ball. Ball pressure buys time. They do a great job of getting out in passing lanes. And when they get out in passing lanes, obviously it gives them a chance to create easy offensive play ahead of the defense. They're physical and tough defensively. They're interchangeable defensively. And then when they force a contested shot, they have the ability to pursue the basketball on the backboard. This is a tough, hard-nosed, connected defensive team that will be challenged against Gonzaga.
It goes back to what Coach is always talking about, identity. Do you know your identity? And Scott Drew's team clearly understands who they are, how they have to play in order to be successful. And it doesn't hurt when you have a player like Jared Butler, Maceo Teague, Mitchell on the outside, a bunch of guys that can really put
and Mark Vital, who actually they never run a play for, and he's the toughest guy to prepare for in your scouting report.
Meantime, Gonzaga, we know all about Timme and Kispert and Suggs. They steal the spotlight, but Mark Few has another dude, too.
Yeah, Ayayi is kind of, to me, the unsung hero, maybe the glue guy for this Gonzaga team. He was the most valuable player in the West Coast Conference tournament last year before everything got shut down for COVID, and he answered the bell last night against West Virginia. He's a player that can just get after it. 21 points. He had 7 rebounds. 4 steals. To me, the rebounding number is the biggest number, Coach. It allows you to come back in, take some of that pressure off your front court.
And it also allows them to play small, play Kispert at the 4. This game's going to come down to one thing. Can Gonzaga defend the basketball and keep it in front? Because when Baylor spreads you out, you've got to be able to sit down in the stance and guard the ball. And then Gonzaga's got to rebound the ball against a physical, active, and alert Baylor team that attacks the glass with quickness.
The lineup I want to see against this Baylor defense is when they move Kispert to the 4, and then you have 3 guards on the outside. Their flow is great. Timme has to be the stronghold down underneath. But when Kispert's versatility, and he takes you on the outside, he can post you up, there's a lot of things that Mark Few can play with.
They better keep Vital off the glass in that lineup. But Kispert and Vital, that'll be ridiculous. Vital's ability to switch on the perimeter makes this Baylor team just so unique because he can sit down in the stance and guard a guard and keep it in front, contest, and then go back and get it.
Experience, depth, guard power, who wins and why?
I think the Gonzaga Bulldogs are going to win, and I think they win because of the versatility in their offense. When you're scheming for them, you can't just focus on 1, 2 guys. You've got to focus on 6, and that makes it awfully difficult.
I think Baylor wins this game with their toughness and their ability. They're floor gamers that can put pressure on that Gonzaga defense. And Mark Vital is going to be the X factor. He's just tougher than everyone else.
I mean, how good is this? In December, we get number 1 versus number 2. Gonzaga, look, they may get a Phillips 66 trophy before this is all said and done. They've knocked off Kansas, beaten West Virginia. Baylor in their sights. We'll see it Saturday.
This halftime report is presented by E-Trade. Get more than just trading with E-Trade. Investing, banking, guidance.
I did some early shopping this year. One for you, one for me.
I love it. I got us a little something too.
Yeah?
Yep. One for you and one for me.
I love it.
Oh, actually, that was supposed to be for me.
I love it.
I like red.
It's the GMC season to upgrade. Now everyone can get GM employee pricing on most GMC models. Use it to get over $6,200 total value on this 2021 Acadia Denali. We are professional grade GMC.
It's been a tough year, and now with Q4 wrapping up, the North Pole has to be feeling the heat.
It's okay, Santa. Let's workflow it.
Workflow it?
Just picture it. With the Now platform, we'll have the company you always imagined. Efficient, productive, seamless.
Okay. I'm in.
Whatever your business is facing, let's workflow it. ServiceNow.
At Domino's, you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for just $7.99 each. And with Domino's Carside Delivery, you can conveniently stay in your car while you do it. Just pull up, check in online, and we'll quickly bring your food to you.
Thank you.
So you don't have to get out to get carry out. Like Denny here.
Hey, Hamlin. I like your PJs.
PJs? Stay in the driver's seat with Domino's Carside Delivery.
It's the K Friends and Family event with 25 to 50% off everything. Find hundreds of meaningful gifts at great prices. Buy online with a virtual consultant and pick up in store. Only at K.
Instantly clear everyday congestion with Vicks Sinex Saline Nasal Mist. For drug-free relief that works fast. Vicks Sinex, instantly clear everyday congestion.
As someone with hearing loss, I know what a confusing and frustrating experience getting hearing aids can be. That's why I founded Lively. Affordable, high-quality hearing aids with all of the features you need and none of the hassle.
I use Lively hearing aids, and it's been wonderful.
It's so light and so small.
But it's a fraction of the cost of the other devices.
They cost thousands less.
It's insanely user-friendly. You take the hearing test online, the doctor programs in the settings. You don't even need to go into an office.
They're delivered to your door in a few days, and you're up and running in no time.
It connects via Bluetooth to my phone.
You can stream music, and you can answer phone calls.
The audiologist was so incredible.
She's full of all kinds of little helpful hints.
I love it.
They're a game changer for me.
I feel like I could take on anything.
It feels great to be in control of my hearing.
Better hearing has never been this easy. Try Lively risk-free for 100 days. Visit listenlively.com.
This halftime report is presented by E-Trade. Get more than just trading with E-Trade. Investing, banking, guidance.
4 teams, 2 semifinals. New Year's Day, the college football playoff lives on ESPN.
Well, necessity is the mother of invention, right? Liberty was set to play Coastal on Saturday. Instead, Liberty had a COVID outbreak, so BYU steps in. Both teams need this game. Both teams 9-0, first time that's ever happened among non-Power Fives, 5:30 Eastern, ESPNU. Part of a great day of college football, ranked matchup in the Big Ten. Trevor Lawrence and Clemson close it out in prime time at Virginia Tech, 7:30 Eastern on ABC. This has been the E-Trade Halftime Report.
As a human ski lift, there's only one way to refuel. The DQ $6 meal deal. Entree, plus a refreshing Coke, fries, and sundae. All full-sized.
Just like that hill.
DQ, happy tastes good.
Always be ready to seize the moment. When inspiration strikes. Make the most of this opportunity during Mazda's Season of Inspiration. Get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months and no payments for 90 days.
Kids, what do you want for lunch?
Pizza! Tacos! Pizza!
What about Subway? It's a good call and everyone loves it.
We raised our kids on it.
So it stopped the bickering?
JJ's copying me.
Grow up.
Mom!
Knock it off!
Try the new Subway Buffalo Chicken or Barbecue Chicken.
It's Fee Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Texas Tech shoots 64% from the field in the first half, and they lead it by 25 as we get ready for half number 2. From Lubbock, along with Fran Fraschilla, I'm Mark Neely. A very big first half for the trio of McClung with 17 points. Shannon had 10, and then Edwards contributed a little more subtly with 4 assists.
Absolutely. Now, this is a young basketball team, but these are the veterans. 2 juniors and a sophomore, and Mac McClung, brilliant tonight. Big first half. Terrence Shannon Jr. rock solid as well, and Kyler Edwards only 1 field goal attempt, but 5 points, great leadership, really good ball movement in the first half, and they took advantage, Mark Neely, of 15 Troy turnovers. Otherwise, Troy didn't play that poorly. They shot about 39%, but you can't give this trio and this team that many easy opportunities. And you saw the numbers from Sunday. These guys have bounced back very nicely. 3 guys that are going to carry this team.
Well, the loss on Sunday to Houston, they fell 64-53, Fran. What's practice, you think, been like for Chris Beard's team after that loss?
Well, I talked to Chris Beard after the loss, and he said, Coach, this is why we played Houston. We wanted to find out about our weaknesses. We were not tough early. We battled back in that second half. You and I were there. We saw it. But when you lose a game like that, you know, I'm not a believer in there's no such thing as a good loss. When you lose a game like that, especially when you've been bullied around, a team that doesn't get bullied very often, you take stock of yourself. You get to go in the film room. You show the young guys what good is and what bad is, and they certainly could show them a lot of good from the standpoint of how Houston played, and they've responded tonight, albeit against a young team, but nevertheless, they have controlled the first 20 minutes.
We also saw how good a team Kelvin Sampson's Houston Cougars are. I mean, that's a potential Final Four team in my view.
Outstanding. And Kelvin's done an amazing job there. Really impressed with how hard they play, which they always do. And of course, Chris Beard and Kelvin Sampson know each other well, and that's exactly why they scheduled the game.
Marcus Santos Silva fouled by Zay Williams. Zay Williams, number 2. And that's actually Desmond Williams, who commits the foul. But Zay Williams, one of their better players. Only 2 points, had a couple of fouls in the first half as well.
Yeah, what I like about this play right here is Santos Silva not really involved in the offense early. We talked about the big 3. So Chris Beard, what does he do psychologically? Let's get the big guy a touch early. We need this guy to rebound, run the floor, and play post defense. So I always like this in coaching, Mark. This game is so mental, right? And by the way, what's the motto at Texas Tech? The mental is the physical as
4 is to 1.
4 is to 1, right? So what's the mental approach here? Get the big guy involved early, especially with a big lead.
Shannon helped to his feet.
You know, sometimes you go into that locker room at halftime and everybody's happy because you're up 25, and you're looking at a guy like Santos Silva, and he's got his head down. Maybe he's not smiling like everybody else. And as a coach, you say to yourself, you know, I got to get this guy involved. We're going to get this ball to him early. And sometimes you tell your team that too.
There's a drive by Burnett. Cam Woods, the freshman, with the floater. He's had a nice first half. Nice start to the second half for the freshman.
Now, I've been down like this in my coaching career, and what you do with your team is say, guys, listen, we probably can't win this game, but let's win the next 4 minutes. Let's cut into this lead. Let's get better the next 20 minutes. It'll help us when we play Coastal Carolina and Louisiana Monroe. And that's what they're doing right now. They're going to school against a really good opponent.
Terrence Shannon short off the hands of Santos Silva. Then he tried to throw it off Burnett. And that is going to stay with Texas Tech thanks to the play by Marcus Santos Silva.
A man from Taunton, Massachusetts, right down the road from Providence, Rhode Island. Probably been written about in the Providence Journal on a few occasions.
I bet. Here's Santos Silva. Got that one with the right hand.
You're not worried about tonight. You want to make sure the big guy's pumped up for the next big game they've got coming up. Good psychology by Chris Beard.
First bucket of the game for Santos Silva.
Feeling a little better about himself.
I bet. Puncher. Nice feed down low. Zay Williams.
Good job right there. Terrific roll down the lane.
And that's what we probably expected to see more out of Zay Williams, except the 2 early fouls for him in the first half really limited.
He's a great roller to the basket because he's got soft hands for a big guy, and that time he caught that ball in traffic. Key for Troy in the second half is don't turn it over 15 times. Give yourself a chance to score some buckets.
And the 3-ball continuing to fall for Texas Tech. That one from Kyler Edwards.
Yeah, Kyler Edwards, we talked about it. He's the leader of this team. Played so well as a freshman on that Final Four team. Good year last year, averaging 11 a game.
The Clunks had the big game with 17 points.
And if I'm Matt McClung right now, if I have to, tough pass, but I like it. You know what I like about that? If I'm Matt McClung and I know I've had a big first half and we got the lead, I am going to make sure I get my teammates involved in the second half. And Chris Beard didn't like the way he threw that ball into the third row.
Everything else has been pretty good tonight.
I'd live with threes. I'd live with that turnover.
Yeah, no doubt.
Little pressure there. 2-2-1.
Whistle. A little push going against Texas Tech.
By the way, Mr. Neely, Chris Beard knows a little bit about the Sun Belt from his one season.
Yeah. One very successful season with in Little Rock.
I would say.
Went 30-5, won the Sun Belt, beat Purdue in 2 overtimes in the NCAA tournament,
and then took the UNLV job
for
about 3 weeks.
A short period, yeah, it wasn't very long.
The story behind that, by the way, was because Tubby Smith left Texas Tech to go to Memphis. The buyout was like $1 million. So when Chris Beard became the head coach at UNLV, and then the Texas Tech job opened when Tubby left, Kirby Hocutt, the athletic director of Texas Tech, said, wait a minute, I got this free $1 million. If I pay the buyout to UNLV, I actually could get Chris Beard to come be my coach, who knows Texas as well as, he's as Texan as an armadillo in summer heat. I don't think that's really a great analogy right there.
Well, I mean, the Lone Star
hasn't
State
been run over on a state highway like an armadillo.
You do see quite a few of those along the sides of highways in the Lone Star State.
I'm trying to give you Texas references.
Not there for Cam Woods, but another opportunity thanks to Zay Williams.
Yeah, this is it's an athletic group. Inexperienced, but athletic. Good pass.
Gives it up to Stampley. And it went off the leg of Stampley, and it goes to Texas Tech. Well, Feast Week presented by Lowe's. How about this trio of games? You got Villanova, Texas coming up at 1 Eastern, Xavier, Cincinnati, and then Kentucky, Georgia Tech, all on Sunday on ESPN. And Fran going to be in Austin for that big matchup between Villanova and the Longhorns.
You want an underrated Villanova player right now? I'm going to give you an underrated Villanova player who will be the best big man in the Big East by his junior year, Eric Dixon. Coming off a double-double against Hartford, the redshirt freshman, has a chance to be Jay Wright's best low post player in his entire time at Villanova. He may not play more than 15 minutes, but you will hear about Eric Dixon, the Wildcats, on Sunday in Austin, Texas.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get a great deal on Tacoma, RAV4, Camry, and more.
I'll take it.
I'll get this wrapped up for you.
I wish I hadn't just unwrapped it.
What makes an amazing deal even better? Toyota Care. It's a no-cost maintenance plan for 2 years or 25,000 miles, plus roadside assistance for 2 years and unlimited miles.
Toyotathon is on. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
This is the story of two Bills. One is used to things being hard. The other found a smarter way. One does it how it's always been done. The other does it better. So which one is yours? Maximize your savings, invest from anywhere, finance your home for all things money.
Thank you for calling Ally.
To show up the show-off, do you need power or this? Optimum power. The Guz Duracell Optimum makes this RC truck even faster than Copper Top.
No! We have a winner!
It's been a tough year, and now with Q4 wrapping up, the North Pole has to be feeling the heat.
It's okay, Santa. Let's workflow it.
Workflow it?
Just picture it. With the Now platform, we'll have the company you always imagined. Efficient, productive, seamless.
Okay. I'm in.
Whatever your business is facing, let's workflow it. ServiceNow.
You've always been my center. Someday, I'll remind you that you will always be just that.
Show her your love is unstoppable. In-store, online, or by virtual consultation. Only at Kay Jewelers.
As a human ski lift, there's only one way to refuel. The DQ $6 meal deal. Entree, plus a refreshing Coke, fries, and sundae. All full-sized.
Just like that hill.
DQ, happy tastes good.
The only way you beat 6-month aged cheddar toasted on the shell of a chalupa is to put it in this box. The $5 toasted cheddar chalupa box is back for a limited time, only at Taco Bell.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's, home for the holidays. In Lubbock, Texas tonight, the Sun Belt, the Big 12, Troy Trojans, Texas Tech Red Raiders, and the Red Raiders with the 52-28 lead. Here's what's ahead in the Big 12. You got the 1 versus 2 matchup, Baylor and Gonzaga, Villanova, Texas. And then on Tuesday, as part of the Big East Big 12 battle, you have number 9 Creighton going to Allen Fieldhouse and taking on number 7 Kansas. Kansas got a win over Washburn last night. Yeah, you and I will have the call of the Creighton-Kansas game. What's going to be odd, instead of 16,300 packing Allen Fieldhouse, it'll be about 1,500 fans separated by social distancing.
It was spooky last night. Yep, it was spooky last night. And Jayhawk fans, there will come, save your energy, because there will come a time when we got 16,300 back in that arena. It'll be rocking and rolling, but very strange right now. But hey, the season is strange, but we are playing college basketball.
And that's the most important thing. Here's the jumper from the baseline, and that may have been partially blocked by Stampley. Out of bounds, but staying with Tech.
By the way, you're a Kansas City guy, and we know Mitch Baylock is making his homecoming. Outstanding senior guard for Creighton. He grew up in Eudora, about 10 miles from Lawrence. And
very close to the Lawrence campus. And there's a couple other players with Creighton that have some Kansas City ties as well.
Christian Bishop.
Yes, it'll be an interesting game on a lot of levels, much less the fact that we'll have a top 10 matchup between those two schools on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Mitch Baylock, who was offered a scholarship by Bill Self, and he wasn't sure how much he would play. Of course, Kansas is always loaded. I think he would have been a Brady Morningstar, and he's obviously turned out to be a great player at Creighton, one of the best shooters in college basketball. That's a homecoming for him.
Zay Williams fouled. He was sandwiched there by Santos and Edwards. And hard to believe you'll have Kansas playing on this very floor in Lubbock. That's not too far down the road. Thursday, December 17th.
Yep. And how about Texas at Baylor next weekend? Dickie V will be in Waco, Texas next Sunday. That'll be a fun game. We got so many fun games this year in the Big 12. This league is loaded. I know the talk is that the Big Ten is the best league in college basketball. All I know is Ken Palm has said the last 7 years the Big 12 has been the best conference, 6 of the 7. Gotta shoot that.
He might have been too wide open, but Santos Silva keeps it alive for Tech. Put up from the right side that time and off the heel from Shannon. And Cam Woods on the run gives it up to Desmond Williams. The jumper out there for Waters. And that's an offensive foul on Zay Williams, and that is his fourth. It's been a foul play game for Zay Williams, yes.
Yeah, good effort, you know. Good energy effort, but sometimes a little over-exuberant. Young man from Birmingham. Was part of the transition from previous coach Phil Cunningham to Scott Cross. Scott Cross, we asked him to explain that motto, right? Take the stairs. That's been a big motto of his since he coached at UTA. He's brought that take the stairs motto to Troy, and it simply means we're going to do everything with grit and determination. Did you love the story about where that came from?
I did. From the offices there in Arlington, where he would come up to the elevator and there'd be a large line waiting to get on the elevator, and they'd go up and they would drop off his bags. Yeah.
Of his players.
And he'd come back down and you're still waiting for the elevator? Take the stairs. What are you doing?
Exactly. Do it might be easier to take an elevator, but you'll get more out of taking the stairs. And that's part of their mantra. The other thing I love is OKG. They recruit OKGs at Troy. Our kind of guys.
Well, batted around into the hands of Santos Silva. McClung back in there. He's got 17 points. And 4 assists to go along with that.
Yep, I like it. I love his confidence. And if you want to see what Mac McClung does athletically, get on YouTube because you will see some highlights. And so far tonight, he's a human highlight.
The only way you beat 6-month aged cheddar toasted on the shell of a chalupa is to put it in this box. The $5 toasted cheddar chalupa box is back for a limited time, only at Taco Bell.
To show up the show-off, do you need power or this? Optimum power. Because Duracell Optimum makes this RC truck even faster than Copper Top.
No! We have a winner!
This is the story of two Bills. One is used to things being hard. The other found a smarter way. One does it how it's always been done. The other does it better. So which one is yours? Maximize your savings, invest from anywhere, finance your home for all things money.
Thank you for calling Ally.
I did some early shopping this year. One for you, one for me.
I love it. I got us a little something too.
Yeah?
Yep. One for you and one for me.
I love it.
Oh, actually, that was supposed to be for me.
I love it.
I like red.
It's the GMC season to upgrade. Now everyone can get GM employee pricing on most GMC models. Use it to get over $6,200 total value on this 2021 Acadia Denali. We are professional grade GMC.
As a human ski lift, there's only one way to refuel. The DQ $6 meal deal. Entree, plus a refreshing Coke, fries, and sundae. All full-sized.
Just like that hill.
DQ, happy tastes good.
Bill Swift here for Flex Paste, the incredible rubberized paste. Right out of the tub, it clings to the surface, and it instantly fills gaps and holes. Flex Paste dries to a strong, flexible rubber, perfect for sealing RVs and campers. Use it to help prevent flood damage, stop rodents from getting in your home, or even crafts and hobbies. Get Flex Paste and the Flex Seal family of products at these fine retailers.
I'm not your friend.
Absolute chaos. This is happening. There is a postseason.
Stop.
They're going to have some difficult choices to make.
There's a reason why there's survival odds. And the reason why there's survival odds is because someone beat it. We need your help.
Don't give up.
Don't ever give up.
Don't give up on me.
During these challenging times, ESPN and the V Foundation's fight against cancer has not stopped. If you are able, please support cancer research by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of what you give goes to cancer research. A lot of survivors, we're happy to say. One of those you're going to get a chance to see in Austin later this weekend. Andrew Jones, what a great story he has been. And one of our favorite players in the Big 12.
No question, especially the way he finished up last year. You know, tomorrow's the 3rd year anniversary of him breaking his wrist as a sophomore. A few short weeks later, Shaka Smart informed the team that Andrew had leukemia. It was a 2-year battle. I got a chance to talk to Andrew a couple weeks ago on a Zoom call, and man, we are so excited to see him back. He didn't shoot particularly well in Asheville, but who cares? He is just an incredible story of battling through leukemia. And you know, I didn't realize he had hip surgery this summer. The one thing I will tell you, when watching him in Asheville this weekend, Mark, he was trying to dunk on everybody. And once that shooting stroke comes back, I thought he played. So we watched him play so well at the end of last season when Texas went on that 5-game winning streak. But more importantly than his shooting stroke is the incredible will and grit and determination of a young man who's battled that insidious disease.
Shannon going to get a chance. Well, Terrence Shannon, another highly recruited guy, made the Big 12 all-freshman team last year, Fran, and
yeah,
he's a Chicago kid.
Yeah, tremendous potential. He's he plays hard. He's a slasher. He's worked on his shooting, which I think is a big thing. And when we talked to him on Saturday, he's really committed to becoming a great defender. And when I watch him play, and you know, we didn't really get a chance to see Kelly Oubre that much at Kansas because he wasn't around very long. But lefty, 6'6", athletic. Of course, Kelly averaged about 18 a game last year for the Phoenix Suns. I think this kid's future is bright. You know, the other thing I like about him, Mark?
What's that?
He's playing for Chris Beard, so he's going to work hard every day, like Jared Culver and Zaire Smith and Jemias Ramsey. So you know he's going to get better. He's going to get the most out of that athleticism.
No question. His best game last year had 23 points. I remember the game against West Virginia. Pulled down 11 boards at Kansas. Desmond Williams. He's a sophomore out of Montgomery at a Brubaker Tech. McClung from the corner. That hits the heel. Peavy tips it, but here comes Troy. Burnett. Jump stop in the lane, but short that time from Duke Miles.
Chris Beard wants to run a little half-court offense. Let's work on our execution here. Let's move that ball and get everybody involved. And while they're getting everybody involved, one guy that got involved early in this game, Mac McClung, the junior transfer from Georgetown. He's been on fire out on the South Plains.
This is the new iPhone 12 Pro with 5G, and it's on AT&T, the fastest nationwide 5G network.
Now new and existing customers can get our best deal.
Really? Mom, AT&T has the deal for new and existing customers. I will.
So what'd she say?
It's the wrong person. It's a guy named Carl. But he's very excited and on his way.
Word of mouth advertising. It's what they did before commercials.
It's not complicated. Everyone gets our best deal, like the amazing iPhone 12 mini on us.
I work at Burger King, big enough for a Whopper. They are 2 for $5.
Share the joy this holiday with the Whopper and the 2 for $5 deal. Your way better.
I have something for you.
I have something for you, too.
It's the GMC season to upgrade. Now everyone can get GM employee pricing on most GMC models. Use it to get over $10,000 total value on this 2021 Sierra Denali. We are professional grade GMC.
This is the story of two Bills. One is used to things being hard. The other found a smarter way. One does it how it's always been done. The other does it better. So which one is yours? Maximize your savings, invest from anywhere, finance your home for all things money.
Thank you for calling Ally.
Our new house is amazing. Great street, huge yard.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fencing. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save even more.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Peter.
Touche.
What? I'm down.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
When it comes to the home gating, you gotta have certain essentials. As long as I got my family, friends, Tostitos, my famous nachos, we're good. And don't forget to put a little bend in your knees. Right now, we're just finding happiness in the small things. Just being with the fellas, watching the game, I think it's a very special moment. We don't get to play, but we get to watch it.
I agree. I'm okay with you being the nacho guy the rest of the season.
Tostitos, get to the good stuff.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Back in Lubbock, Texas Tech, and Troy and Fran. Out of the, 4,000 transfers? I exaggerate a little bit. You can pick out 5 out of all the transfers that were your favorite. And let me ask you this right here. Why would the Hauser brothers separate and go to different places?
They played high school basketball together. Then Sam went off to Marquette. Joey joined him when he was a redshirt freshman. And I think they just wanted to change the pace. I saw Joey practice last year for 3 days in East Lansing. And Tom Izzo was hoping for a waiver. He didn't fight it that hard. But, boy, he felt like with Xavier Tillman, Cassius Winston, they had a Final Four type team with Joey, but he's already off to a great start. All those guys I mentioned are playing well. And I will tell you, Mark Neely, that Carlik Jones, the Big South Player of the Year, averaging about 17-5 right now for Chris Mack's Louisville team, he might be the best point guard in the ACC.
Really?
There's other highly recruited guys, those kids that Caleb Love and the little Davis kid from Carolina and Jeremy Roach, but Carlik Jones, if I had to win one ACC game right now, he would be near the top of my list as a point guard. He might not be the best, but he will definitely be an all-ACC player this year for Chris Mack. And think about this. The Big South has produced guys like Carlik Jones and Wayne Sutton at Louisville. How about Maceo Teague, right?
Yes.
Adam Flagler. Unfortunately, the Big South has been a great farm system for some really good high major programs.
No doubt. Carlik went to Radford, the Highlanders there in Virginia.
It's so sad as a former mid-major coach to lose a kid to that you recruited and cultivated, but that's the world we live in right now.
Punter able to steal it back for the Trojans.
You're going to keep that ball on the sideline. That's what we call icing the pick and roll right there. Don't let him get to the middle.
Miles Mendez.
Yeah. Young man from Farmington, Minnesota. Big, strong kid. Looks like he played a little football.
He did indeed. Played football and ran track as well for Farmington High School in Minnesota. McClung has cooled off a bit since that hot start.
Yeah, and I don't mind him shooting. I really don't, because he certainly played well. But with a 30-point lead right now, if you're Mac McClung or, Burton, who's a playmaker, let's get everybody involved now. Let's make sure those young guys get some experience.
Rory Panafleet banks that in.
You know what? He went to junior college in Tyler Junior College from St. Martin in the Caribbean.
He did indeed.
From Tyler. You know who's from Tyler Junior College? Jimmy Butler.
Well, Marquis, of course, was the head coach for Jimmy Butler the year he played at Tyler Junior College.
We just saw Hade Wells play, right? From UTA, another Tyler guy. How many guys know who Hade Wells is from UTA? Except you and I. Little zone now by Troy. Again, they're not going to win this game, but they're going to work on some changing defenses. They've used the zone a little this year.
Edwards.
That's good for Kyle Edwards. There's no question that he's going to get on track.
No, he's a guy that shot 45% from three-point land as a freshman.
No question.
Hunter. Deep for Punter out of the Bronx. And McClung takes the charge.
Take a look at Kyler Edwards now. A little pick and roll action right here. Kick back out. Good screen by Nimari Burnett. Kind of a random screen. You know, a guy we haven't talked about tonight, Kevin McCullough's not back in this lineup. And with all these young players that we really like on Texas Tech, Peavy and Burnett, McCullough, the sophomore, nursing an ankle sprain. It was so key last year. Chris Beard told us yesterday he was a starter for us in game one if he had not sprained his ankle. Had a great summer.
You can tell Chris Beard really loves Kevin McCullough. He cannot say enough nice things about him and how much he respects his game.
Yep.
Drive there by Peavy, and he's fouled. He also mentioned that Vlad Golden may be back soon too from his hand injury
big
for
rushing.
Tech.
Look at this great strong move by Micah Peavy. Duncanville High School, southwest part of the Metroplex. Great athletes there. Had a great program for many, many years. Great football. Last I checked, Mark, there are about 130 high schools in the Metroplex, and you know I wax poetic on high school basketball in Dallas, but this year we could have 3 potential All-Americans from Dallas, Texas. Kate Cunningham, and
the freshman for Oklahoma State.
Yep, and our guy Drew Timme at Gonzaga, who Baylor will play tomorrow. And of course Marcus Garrett, senior from Skyline High School, playing for the Jayhawks.
Well, Chris Beard has said the Metroplex is crucial for their recruiting base, and also they've got a pretty large fan base. The Red Raiders do.
Oh yeah.
In the Metroplex.
A couple of years ago they played, I think it was 2018, they played a regional in Dallas, and half of the arena, home of the Dallas Mavericks, was black and red. Red Raider Nation.
Duke Miles gets in the lane, but he traveled first. Well, Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. It is a must-have for Big 12 fans. The Red Raiders play Abilene Christian December 9th at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Plus, you'll get over 40 men's basketball games this season. If you are a Big 12 fan, gotta have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now. And by the way, if you're a Troy Trojan fan, you gotta have it, because you're going to see a lot of their games in the Sun Belt on ESPN Plus as well.
If you're a Trojan fan, be optimistic about this young group.
Kyler Edwards coming alive here in the second half, Frank.
Picking his spots, not forcing anything, letting the game come to him. He doesn't have to score. This game is over, but he's open. He's going to let it fly.
They're going to call a foul on that, but that's going to take us to our timeout. Under 8 minutes to play in Lubbock. A 67-33 lead for the Red Raiders.
It doesn't matter where they came from or how you met them. Some you've known your entire life. Others just feel like it. They come in small groups or by the thousands. But we call them all family. And everything's just better when you're with them. No matter how you family, it's better in the Hyundai Palisade. With available class-exclusive blind view monitor.
At Domino's, you can carry out 3 topping pizzas for just $7.99 each. And with Domino's Carside Delivery, you can conveniently stay in your car while you do it. Just pull up, check in online, and we'll quickly bring your food to you.
Thank you.
So you don't have to get out to get carry out. Like Denny here.
Hey, Hamlin. I like your PJs.
PJs. Stay in the driver's seat with Domino's Carside Delivery.
The journey happens here. We've got your blue bloods and blue chippers, championship DNA and classic duels. One moment here leads to here.
Are you serious?
And here.
Get up, get out.
The spirit of the game lives on. College basketball is here. It's time to go to work.
A college basketball triple header begins Tuesday at 5 on ESPN.
Tonight is the second ever meeting between Troy and Texas Tech. The first meeting was the season opener for both teams back on November 11th of 2011. 11-11 of 11. It was a 5-point win for Tech as they were paced by Ty Nurse's 29 points. Will Weathers led Troy with 24. That was Billy Gillespie's first win as Texas Tech head coach. And where's Billy Gillespie now, Fran Fraschilla?
Well, a lot of people don't realize he is the new head coach at Tarleton State in the WAC. They've gone Division I, and the other night, Mark, I watched the game down in College Station. They had the Aggies on the ropes for 30 minutes before Savion Flagg, the senior, pulled Buzz Williams' chestnuts out of the fire. But Billy Gillespie will build a really good program at Tarleton State. You can count on that.
And they're going to play Kansas.
Ranger Junior College. Yeah, they're going to
play Kansas coming up. By the way, Texas Tech.
Yes.
Texas Tech that year in 2011 to 12. Texas Tech went 1-17 in the Big 12. Their only win that year was against Oklahoma in conference. Safe to say the 1-17 Big 12 seasons are safely in the rearview mirror for Texas Tech.
I think that's the case. Now remember, he didn't finish that year. It was Chris Walker who was the coach of that Texas Tech team. But Billy Gillespie, great coach, you know, has battled some personal demons, but back on the sideline and did a great job as an assistant for Bill Self at Tulsa in Illinois. And he will build a winning program at Tarleton State.
Yeah, Billy Clyde coaching basketball in Texas again. Good to see that.
That is good. Yep. Everybody needs a second or third chance, and he's getting it. I got Clarence Nadolny's in, the Frenchman from Bordeaux. Opportunity for some young guys now.
Got Avery Benson in the game, and Avery Benson.
Oh, yeah.
From the corner.
He's going to go do a little coon hunting after this game. Shoot some armadillos.
Well, Fran, it's been almost exactly a year. You remember that great game he had against Louisville in the Jimmy V Classic at the Garden, where they knocked off #1 Louisville last year.
Oh, yeah. Now he's from Springdale, Arkansas. He's a hunting, fishing guy. And he was going to walk on at Little Rock. And then when Chris came to the South Plains, he brought Avery with him. And we've seen him hustle his way to some great plays throughout his 3 years. He's very much like Brock Cunningham over at Texas, the kid that we talked about earlier. And what a great lift he's given that team.
Nice game for Cam Woods, the freshman for Troy, up to 11 points after that last bucket.
I predict Cam Woods is going to be an all Sun Belt level point guard without a doubt. Nice feed inside.
Nadolny giving it up for the slam.
But how about Avery Benson? Catch. Knocking it down from deep. Good find right there. And Tyreek Smith, the redshirt freshman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Chris Beard told us yesterday he was really impressed, Mark, with the energy that Tyreek Smith played with.
Benson gets a nice hand as he goes to the bench.
He shaved that beard because last year, he looked like Grizzly Adams last year.
Not sure what he looks like this year. I'll have to think about that one. Maybe from the movie Easy Rider.
Exactly. Driving his Harley.
There's Miles once again. Pulls up. And one rattles out. But it will go to Tech.
I think we're watching the debut of a big young freshman from Russia.
Vladislav Golden, the 7-footer, makes his first appearance of the season. He'd been dealing with a hand injury, but Chris Beard gave us the heads up. We might see Vlad tonight, and indeed we do.
Yeah, young man who's played on the Russian under-18 team. He played in the World Championships, the under-19s in Greece a couple years ago, where Cade Cunningham and Ty Halliburton and Isaac Likely won the gold medal. And you know, when we watched him practice on Saturday, I'll tell you who he reminds me of. He's a long way from this, but he reminds me of Myers Leonard of the Miami Heat. He's athletic. He's got a good shooting stroke. Make this one for me, thank you. And he's about 7 feet tall, still growing.
7'1" and still growing.
Yeah.
And look pretty good on the free throws.
That's Myers Leonard like.
Under 6 minutes to go in Lubbock. In all, Texas Tech, they only trailed briefly in this game at 7-6 and went on a 23-2 run and haven't looked back. Missed by Woods from the corner this time.
Well, this is tough if you're Troy. And Coach Cross doesn't want to be beaten this badly, but this is part of the growing pains of building a mid-major program. Got to play good teams, got to play them on the road. And remember, this game was put together in about 48 hours.
And that's a story certainly worth repeating here, Fran, because as you said, 4 days ago, if we said, yeah, Troy's going to play Texas Tech on Friday, we would say, well, it must be COVID related, and it is.
Yep.
St. John's was supposed to play Thursday in Lubbock against Texas Tech. They elected not to make the trip to Texas. It's part of the Big East Big 12 battle. And then the day before that is when Wake Forest was supposed to play Troy, and that had a COVID issue as well. So Chris Beard gets on the horn with his buddy Scott Cross, and a few text messages and phone calls later, the agreement, hey, come on over to Lubbock, let's play.
Yeah, and remember, the Troy team was coming back from a canceled game at Wake Forest, and assistant coach Ken Mangrum from Troy, who was with Scott Cross at UTA, he played at North Texas when Chris Beard was an assistant coach there. So a lot of connections. They were on the phone talking to Tech while they were busing back to Troy, and they put that game together. You know, you normally don't want to play your friends. Chris Beard and Kelvin Sampson told us that. But in a COVID era, like we're in, having friendships allows you to be able to put together these kind of games quickly, even though they don't want to play each other.
Well, Sunday afternoon, a college basketball triple header featuring 3 top 20 teams. Number 12 Villanova and number 17 Texas tip off the day at noon Eastern. Then it's the Crosstown shootout rivalry, and it's a game between Xavier and Cincinnati. Those schools just 3 miles apart. Then at 5 Eastern, 20th ranked Kentucky takes on Georgia Tech in Atlanta. All 3 games on ESPN and the app. Again, starts at noon Central, 1 Eastern, Villanova, Texas.
You're going to see 2 of the best point guards in college basketball, 2 seniors. And Colin Gillespie and the Longhorns' Matt Coleman coming off the an outstanding performance in the Maui Classic, which was held this year in Asheville, North Carolina. Probably the biggest wins of Shaka Smart's career to this point.
Oh, and the blocked Avery Benson back in the game.
You don't bring that weak stuff in here.
Waters, and then away from the ball, a foul.
Hey, he plays with energy. Avery Benson. Yeah, take a look. Love this guy.
LeBron-like.
I think he's still a walk-on, but look at the effort right there. Avery Benson, Springdale, Arkansas. Chris Beard thought enough of him. He was thinking he was getting a good player at Little Rock. And when he came to Lubbock, he said, listen, I don't know how much you'll play, but we could use your energy on this team. And, of course, he's a redshirt junior, so he's been in the program 4 years. And it's not a big coincidence that this team has won big the last 4 years. He is a great locker room guy and a great guy to have at practice every day because he makes everybody around him better with that effort.
Every time I see a block like that, especially on that right side of the board, I always think LeBron against the Warriors.
Yes.
And there's
How about
Golden.
the big guy? Hey, watch him run, man. A nice revelation for Red Raider fans tonight. This kid's going to feel like $1 million.
Woods with a spin move, stripped by Nadolny, but the foul will be called on Clarence Nadolny.
The big fella. How about this guy? From Russia. Jump hook. Очень хорошо, as my Russian friends would say. Means very good.
Do you have butter lettuce over there? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Okay.
Just try a little bit here.
Hey, Jay, can you grab that?
We'll get right on it.
Thank you. I know how much you guys love tomatoes, so I have stories to tell you about these tomatoes.
Okay, Limu, you said it. Then as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so they only pay for what they need. Got it? Did you get that? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Breakfast wants you back. Try Just Crack an Egg, packed with real potatoes, veggies, meat, and cheese. Just add a fresh egg for a hot scramble in less than 2 minutes to get those warm, fuzzy feelings again. Take breakfast back. Find it in the egg aisle.
Your ring should shine the same way you do. Shop exclusive styles from our collections, including Vera Wang Love, Enchanted Disney, Endless Brilliance, and so much more. Shop online with a virtual consultant, exclusively at Zales, the Diamond Store.
Putting adventure first doesn't mean having to put sugar first. This Cliff Bar's first ingredient is brown rice syrup, another name for sugar. In this new Kind energy bar, it's whole grain oats with 35% less sugar than the leading Cliff Bar. Be kind to yourself.
Always be ready to seize the moment. When inspiration strikes. Make the most of this opportunity during Mazda's season of inspiration. Get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months and no payments for 90 days.
As a human ski lift, there's only one way to refuel. The DQ $6 meal deal. Entree, plus a refreshing Coke, fries, and sundae. All full-sized. Just like that hill.
DQ, happy tastes good.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. Just outside the United Supermarkets Arena in Lubbock, Troy and Texas Tech. We just saw that bucket from Batislav Golden, the 7-foot Russian. And I just learned something. I've known Fran Fraschilla a long time, but I never knew that he took 2 years of Russian in college.
I did. Really? 1 year in high school as well. Yeah, that was back. I'm old enough to remember the Cold War when that was the coolest thing to do. You know, you take Russian and learn that stuff. It's come in handy for me when I've been overseas.
So what were you going to be, like a spy or something? And
No.
Cold
I was
War
offered
espionage?
a chance. No, I was a high school freshman at Nazareth High School. By the way, that year as a freshman, Pete Gillen was the varsity coach, and they said, "Hey, your English scores were high enough coming in as a freshman. Do you want to take Russian?" I did. I learned a few words. Most of them I could say on the air. But I don't know very much. But I do know Очень хорошо, which means very good. And the young man from Nalchik, Russia, down there, just north of the Republic of Georgia, got off to a good start tonight. And that's fun to see. Doesn't he remind you a little bit of Myers Leonard?
He does, no question.
Got the shooting touch.
Nice stroke, yeah. The Dolny tip. Got Chibuzo Agbo in the game for Texas Tech. We haven't had a chance to talk much about that freshman tonight, but he's another exciting one for Chris Beard, number 23.
Yeah, he can really shoot it. I think he's going to be a good player in time.
Here he is.
It's hard coming in the game. Yeah, it's hard when you've been on the bench all night and the team's up big and you come in and you want to show the coaches. And that time Clarence Nadolny was trying to do an Avery Benson and protect the rim. He's a sophomore, 4 fouls. Don't ask me to speak French.
Yeah.
I know no French, but I do know he's from Bordeaux.
He has picked up 4 pretty quick fouls. He's been aggressive out there in his minutes on the floor.
You know, it's painful. I've been here before. When you play one of these guarantee games and you're Troy, it's painful because Scott Cross is a competitive guy. He's got a 60% win percentage, postseasons. But you also know you're building a program. And a loss like this will help you down the road. These kids will grow up and they'll be more prepared for a game like this as these kids get more games under their belt.
They got a quick turnaround. They play in Birmingham on Sunday. And that game against Auburn will be on the SEC network. Well, the good news for Troy is that Cam Woods, their freshman guard, has played really well tonight on 13 points.
Yeah, Miles, Burnett, and Wells, all 3 top Alabama players last year. Scott Cross told us yesterday all 3 of the kids knew each other and they all wanted to play together. They're going to be very, very good Sun Belt players in time. I have no doubt about it.
Weak side rebound for Cam Woods that time. Back once again to 3 off the mark. And for Troy, arguably their best player, Zay Williams. He's 3 of 3 from the field tonight, 7 points. We got the 2 early fouls, 4 fouls. He spent a lot of time on the bench and was never really able to get in the flow of the game. And
that might be a cameo appearance. That could be a cameo appearance by Clarence Nadolny. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
He fouls out with 1:44 to go. He got his money's worth tonight, didn't he?
He did. Yep. And you know, he probably learned a few things because you can't run people over.
Texas
for
Tech.
Texas. Yeah, I think, Mark, this is just what Texas Tech needed. Coming off a really tough loss.
They'll have Grambling State in Lubbock on Sunday at 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern start on ESPNU. So this is what's ahead for Chris Beard's team. Again, you get Grambling, then Abilene Christian, and their conference season is right around the corner, and it's December 17th in Lubbock against Kansas.
Yeah, no question. That'll be a big game here. Of course, the crowd, I think it's 25% they're letting in. It won't be quite the same. We're so used to these great arenas in the Big 12 out here in Lubbock and up at Allen Fieldhouse and Hilton Coliseum. It won't quite be the same, but Mark, you and I have talked about this, man. I am so happy we are playing college basketball, and got to keep these kids safe first, but they're all excited about being back on the court, and it's going to be an amazing year in the Big 12.
It is going to be a unique one for sure. There's the drive. Tyreek Smith.
I tell you, he's a good-looking athlete. We watched him last year at practice. He redshirted.
1 minute to go. Leaning in, Christian Turner. Turner's another one of the true freshmen for Scott Cross.
Well, and he's one of those Dallas here. I remember Christian Turner playing high school basketball. I think he played at South Grand Prairie, which is a great program. Probably about 10 minutes from the UTA campus. So we talked about the Alabama kids, but Scott Cross has got a couple of good-looking Dallas kids on that roster, and rightfully so. He's got a staff that knows that area well, and he's not going to get the top guy out of Dallas, but you can get enough players in the Sun Belt to win a lot of games, and he'll do that.
Christian Turner was the first commit to this freshman class for Scott Cross, and they really like it. They could think it's their best recruiting class in school history. Well, as you were alluding to it, Fran, Texas Tech, I think they got what they wanted out of tonight's kind of get their bearings straight again after the loss to Houston.
No question. And again, sometimes a loss recalibrates your team, and you think you've been working hard, and no scrimmages this year, no exhibition games. You get thrown right into the fire against a team like Houston. Game was scheduled for that in mind. And for Scott Cross, he finds out a little bit more about his young team, taking on a team that's ranked in the top 20 tonight. And again, I'd be very excited if I was a Troy Trojan fan. I think he's going to do at Troy what Neil Brown did on the football side, now doing a great job up at
West Virginia.
And how about Tyreek Smith giving us a little inside-outside?
Nice second half for the redshirt freshman Smith. Here's Turner once again. And now Tech can let the final seconds wind down, and that's going to take care of this night of basketball between Troy and Texas Tech, a game we didn't think we'd see a few days ago. 80-46, Texas Tech wins it over Troy. For Fran Fraschilla and our entire crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks so much for sharing this one with us. Now, let's send you to Sports Center.
This is Sports Center at night.
Virginia on upset alert again. A close call for Michigan State and a wild upset. The unexpected finish from the free throw line. The NBA schedule revealed. Rival matchups, superstar homecomings, and contenders head-to-head. The best the new season has to offer. Plus, who can turn the corner? The keys for Jared Goff and Kyler Murray's Sunday matchup. Now, Sports Center.
The goal is to win another championship.
I'm committed. I'm here. I want to be here. I want to retire a Clipper.
And we're off and running on this funky, fresh Friday edition of Sports Center with the Bill Kareem. I'm Michael Lees, and we get the party started on the college hardwood.
Not even 2 weeks in. No. Not even 2 weeks, and it feels like we're on upset alert on a nightly basis. Tonight, no different. Number 4, Wisconsin. They're coming off a 40-point win against Green Bay. Yeah, hit the sirens. 40-point win against Green Bay. Facing their in-state rivals on Friday night, Marquette. We're going to pick this one up. $1:30 left. Game tied at 58. DJ Carton drives in. Little floater. That's good. Marquette going up by 2. Ensuing Wisconsin possession. Nate Reavers. Pump fake. Gets the defense to bite. A lean 4 for 3. Wisconsin up 1. Under a minute to play. Other end of the court. Justin Lewis backing down. Demetra Trice. Going to bank it in. Marquette goes back up. Wisconsin looking to answer. Reavers down low, too strong, gets it to go off the glass. Take a look as Trice draws it. A couple defenders. Reavers, still pretty tough shot down low there. Gets it to go. Wisconsin back up 1. 20 seconds to go. Marquette on the other end. Carton crossing Trice over twice. Gets it to fall. Marquette up 1. Timeout called. Under 10 seconds to play. Wisconsin with the ball. Trice driving. Step back. Hits the fadeaway jumper. Wisconsin up by 1 late off the inbound. Carton brings it up, drives. Oh, they called a foul right there. They pulled out the whistle. 0.9 seconds to go. Carton on the line. Game tied at 65. Makes a first one. We're tied. Second free throw now. Short. But how about that right there? That's it. That's the game. Lewis able to get the board. Gets the good bounce back in. What relief for Carton. Look at his reaction here. Thinking, hey, we're going to OT. I missed that short, not enough legs. But then the bounce by Lewis tips it in for the win. Marquette defeating number 4 Wisconsin, pulling off the upset, snapping the Badgers' 11-game win streak dating back to last season. Oh, that's got to feel good. Here's Lewis on that winning play.
Man, I wanted DJ to make it. I wanted to go home. I wanted him to send us home, but he missed it. I crashed in, tipped it in. The guys threw some water on me, and we were just all happy. It was kind of a good feeling just seeing all the smiles on my teammates' faces, and when we win, it brings a lot of happiness to our program.
Wisconsin is not alone. AP top 5 teams are having some struggles against unranked opponents this season. They're 9-3, which includes the loss by Wisconsin today. That's a 750 win percentage, which would be the lowest win percentage in the AP poll era by top 5 teams versus unranked opponents prior to the new year.
Well, 15th ranked Virginia came into Friday's game with Kent State as 21-point favorites. A week ago, Tony Bennett and company lost to San Francisco when they were 15-point favorites and ranked 4th in the country. We pick it up less than 5 minutes to go in the second half. Virginia up just 1. Giovanni Santiago comes around the screen. Shot clock, he banked it in. Come on, dude. Kent State, though, takes a 2-point lead. Next Virginia possession, they give it up. Mike Nuga, coast to coast, because he's chilling most. Kent State with a 4-point advantage. $1:25 to go. Virginia down 1. Kihei Clark going to draw the foul on Santiago. He would foul out, and Clark hits both free throws to give Virginia the lead. 11 seconds remaining. Kent State down 3. Danny Pippen, air ball from 3. Great hustle, though, by Malik Jacobs. Saves the ball right there.
Oh, that's close.
Reese Beekman's right foot out of bounds as the ball hits him. So Kent State with the possession. 5.8 to go. Justin Hamilton, the rebound, finds Pippen for the shot at the buzzer. It ain't over. The party's not over. How clutch was that? Ties the game at 62, and we would go to overtime. But in the extra frame, Sam Hauser was like, yo, we got no time to be wasting time. Drive, layup in traffic, good. Virginia's up 2. Still a 2-point advantage, less than a minute to go. Hauser, fake, 3, bucket. He had 18. Virginia now 129-9 when scoring 70 points or more under Tony Bennett. They win this one 71-64.
All right. How about these Spartans who are a 27.5-point favorite over Detroit? They're coming off that massive win against Duke. Trent Mercy sticking around in this one. First half, Michigan State up 27-26 in transition. Foster Loyer blocked by Dwayne Rose Jr. Michigan State, they just struggled in that first half shooting, just 32% from the floor, 25 from 3, had 11 turnovers, also sloppy with the ball. Later in the first, tied at 29 in transition. Aaron Henry called for the charge. You can see the frustration building up. Detroit Mercy's Antoine Davis producing on the other end of the floor. No problem there. They're tied at 35 going into the half. They're perfectly fine with that. Second half, tied at 62. Loyer getting the rebound. Finds Rocket Watts in transition. Dishes to Gabe Brown. Gets easy layup. They're fired up. 2-point game. 6 minutes left. Ooh. Brown driving baseline. How about that?
Okay, I see you.
Oh, my goodness. Look at the stretch there. Incredible finish. Michigan State up 4 later. It's a 2-point game. Watts driving. Misses the mid-ranger. Julius Marble just doing the dirty work. Gets it to go and 1. Makes a free throw. They're up 5. Detroit Mercy, though, not going away. $1:30 to go, down 2. Davis driving. Going to miss that. Michigan State, though, pushing it in transition. Marble putting it away. They survived the scare. Michigan State going on to win. They improved to 4-0 for the first time since 2015-2016.
Trap game a little bit. Team that we had nothing on. Players that we didn't even know. Found a way to win. We're going to have to do that a couple times. But those of you that think we're ready for, the national championship because we beat Duke, readjust your theories. We got a lot of work and a long way to go.
Now, the last time we saw Duke lace them up, the Blue Devils lost to Michigan State. Friday, Coach K and company hosting Bellarmine, a small private school in Louisville, making its Division I debut. Early on, Matthew Hurt knocks down a 3. Duke's up 21-6. But here come the Knights. Sam DeVault. He's wide open for 3. That's a bucket. Then Nick Thielen drives. Layup and a foul. Bellarmine's down just 7. And then Ethan Claycomb. It's a 3-point advantage right before the half. But Duke start to pull away. Hurt with the 3 from the corner. We go to the second half. Duke's got a double-digit lead now. Hurt cross-court pass to Jamin Brakefield. He hits a 3. He had 12. And then Hurt again. Too much for the competition. 3 much for his haters. He made 6 threes, finished with 24 points, back-to-back 20-point games for Hurt. And then DJ Stewart. Let's bring it home, folks. I need 2 replays of that. Too bad the crazies aren't there because Cameron Indoor would have been going crazy on that poster move right there. IG official by Stewart. Duke goes on to win it 76-54. All right, so tough to top what happened tonight, but next week going to have some huge matchups as the ACC Big Ten Challenge kicks off on the ESPN family of networks. December 8th, we got number 14 North Carolina heading to Iowa to take on Luka Garza and the Hawkeyes. And there's a top 10 matchup between Illinois and Duke. While on December 9th, how about this one? Michigan State, Virginia.
Every hero need a theme music. Sit on the throne and you can never move it. I hear my destiny is calling. So say hello to the champion. Say hello, say hello. All these wins starting to feel spiritual. They think that is magic. Welcome to the late show. I be King James version when I'm on the West Coast. So say hello to the champ. Let's go.
We just want our respect. Our organization want their respect. Laker Nation want their respect. And I want my damn respect too.
They say hello to the champ.
Well, even after winning the team's 17th NBA title, the Lakers front office had anything but a chill offseason. LA traded for Dennis Schroeder and signed Sixth Man of the Year Montrezl Harrell to a 2-year deal. Schroeder and Harrell ranked first and second in total bench points last season. LeBron, continuing to play at an MVP level entering year 18, will be with the Lakers for another 3 seasons after agreeing to a 2-year, $85 million extension. He became the second oldest player to win Finals MVP, only behind Kareem. And the biggest splash of them all, AD signing the largest contract in Lakers franchise history, 5 years, $190 million. He averaged 26.1 points per game last season, the most ever by one of